Welcome to Between the Lines, a podcast. I'm Janine.
And I'm Jess.
And we both work at the Winkler branch of South Central Regional Library.
In this podcast, we talk about books with our own twist. We'll talk about the first half of the book and predict where it might be going.
And then finish reading the book and discuss the second half.
There will be snark, there will be spoilers, depending on the book. There may be references to violence, sex, or other adult topics.
So if that's not for you, stop listening now.
And all right, we'll get into this week's book.
Today we're going to be talking about the graphic novel Demon in the Wood, written by Leigh Bardugo and illustrated by Danny Pendergast. Discover the origin story of the Darkling in this beautifully illustrated first ever Grishaverse graphic novel. Before he became the Darkling, Eric was just a lonely boy burdened by an extraordinary power. The dangerous truth is that Eric is not just a Grisha, he is the deadliest and rarest of his kind. With stunning illustrations and raw emotion, peer into the shadows of the Darkling's past and discover why he has always been feared by those who wish to destroy him and hunted into hiding his true abilities. But even in this villain origin story, wicked secrets are destined to reveal themselves.
I didn't realize he was the villain.
Yeah, the villain. Yeah. You probably haven't read any of the books from... No. So this is book 0.5 in the Shadow and Bone trilogy. The series also includes Shadow and Bone, Siege and Storm, and Ruin and Rising. And then that is the first part of what is known as the Grishaverse by Leigh Bardugo. I did not write this down, so I don't have all the book titles. But the next series is Six of Crows and... Oh, I had it. I was looking at it. Can't remember. There's two more two-book series after this. And so on Leigh Bardugo's website, it does tell you what order you should read the books in. So the Shadow and Bone trilogy first, then the Six of Crows, and then I think King of Scars and something else is the third series. I'm sorry I didn't write that down, but anyway.
Is this book only available as a graphic novel, or did they do a graphic novel adaptation of the book?
I think this book is only a graphic novel.
Okay.
Usually when I searched it, that's what came up, except in Goodreads it had like a funny cover. It didn't say anything about graphic novel, but when I was searching it, that was all that I could find.
Okay.
So I'm not sure. If it was an actual book, it would be like literally nothing, in my opinion.
We'll get to that.
So anyway, some author and illustrator info. Leigh Bardugo was born in Jerusalem and grew up in Los Angeles. There's a typo in my notes. She attended Yale University, where she was a member of the Wolf's Head Secret Society, which is also interesting because...
It's not a secret society if I know about it.
Well, she has another book that is about secret societies. I'm not sure if it's Yale or Harvard,
Step
but...
one, keep it a secret.
Yeah, no doubt, eh? Before publishing her first novel, she worked in copywriting and journalism, as well as makeup and special effects. And then Danny Pendergast is a freelance illustrator. I couldn't find a ton of information about her, so I just chose to include a quote from her website where she says, "I'm interested in exploring deeper truths in my work, the narratives that touch on identity and those of magical places that spark a feeling of wonder are among my favorites. In my work, I aim to evoke a poetic and at times eerie quality by using surreal solutions, bold colors, and thoughtful line work." So,
interesting.
Let's get into it.
I have very few notes on this book. My first one is just, I like the art style.
I do not.
I think it's well done. I think the color palette's great.
The color, I don't know. To me, at the beginning especially, it seemed very sepia-ish tones. Like very muted. I just...
Not your shtick?
Not mine. Okay. So until like... I don't know how long ago it was. Maybe a year ago, I had never ever read a graphic novel.
Not even like Asterix or Lucky Luke or something?
Never.
Oh,
Archie comics. I would not consider those graphic novels necessarily, but I read a lot of Archie comics.
Have you at least read Calvin and Hobbes?
Yeah, but that's a comic strip. That's not a graphic novel.
No, you're forgiven though.
Okay, so I have read comics, but not like... this is now my fourth one in the last year. I'm just really not a fan. I did
find it difficult to read.
It's hard because so much I think is left to the reader's imagination, because sometimes there are pages where there's pictures but no words. And then I'm supposed to infer what's happening, I feel like. And I'm like, I'm reading because I want you to tell me what's going on.
That's the thing.
Tell me a story. Don't make me make up my own story. That's why I don't write books. That's why I read books.
I feel like in order to read this graphic novel, you have to have first read the Shadow and Bone series. Like, I'm frankly not getting a whole lot out of it.
Well, okay. I have read Shadow and Bone. I have also read Six of Crows, which is the next series, the first book of that series as well.
It's on my want to read list.
They're good books. Shadow and Bone, I read it and I was like, I gotta read the second one. So I immediately ordered it. Have not read it. But anyways, it's there on my pile, my mountain. But so I kind of know a little bit of the background. I still feel like I said the story seems pretty basic so far, so I'm probably missing something.
Well, this is the
or
thing,
what? Like what am I missing?
This morning, like, is this part of a series of graphic novels? Because we're halfway through and nothing has happened.
Well,
he's had a minor altercation with some village boys. That's it.
And he and his mom are obviously running from something because they have assumed identities.
There's 3 pages of him practicing his name.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
yep.
The artwork is great. Storytelling, not so much.
So, I wrote down twice. So, there's one part where his mom leaves him in like a cave or something and goes off to do something. And I'm like, maybe she's not coming back. Well, she did come back. Whatever. And then I wrote, I feel like not too much has happened yet. And then I wrote again, the story seems pretty basic so far. So obviously, like, there's just, I don't understand.
Like, that's the thing. I'm halfway through the book.
Yeah.
And I'm going, is the file corrupted? Am I missing a part? Like, what the heck?
No, it's, like, it's not a very long, like, it's 200 pages-ish.
Yeah, but by 100 pages in, I want something to happen.
You feel like, like there's a lot of mystery-ish.
What's the black goop?
Yeah.
They don't explain what the black goop is, and then he uses the black goop to scare off the village boys.
Yeah.
I
part of his
assumed it's
powers.
some kind of elemental powers kind of a deal where he's got shadows. The one girl has water and somebody else has air-ish.
Yeah.
That's inferring a heck of a lot. None of that's confirmed.
Yeah. Because there are a lot of pages with no words. So when there's
words on there,
no words, I don't know what's going on. I'm sorry.
Well, like, he is Grisha, right?
Yes.
Because they're at a Grisha camp.
He's not just a Grisha, though.
Yeah, there's something obviously wonky about him.
Yeah.
But they don't explain what a Grisha is. Other than, I'm assuming, a witch type thing, person-ish?
It's not exactly, and I didn't get this far in my notes to talk more about that. That would have been more in the fun facts about the Grisha part. But
is it like a mage type deal?
A what?
Mage.
What's a mage?
Think wizard and you're there.
Okay. I'm just not familiar with that word, mage.
You need to be more of a nerd, Janine.
I think it's well established that you're the nerd in this duo.
Yeah, kind of.
I don't know what I am. What do I bring to the table? But anyways.
You bring snacks.
It's true. I am the snack provider.
Oh, okay.
Anyway,
I feel like this book so far could use an extra 200 pages.
Yeah.
Like, just explain some stuff. Like, it...
Okay, but a 400-page graphic novel is a very long graphic novel.
It took me less than 20 minutes to read the first half.
I know.
I can spare another 20 minutes.
I know, but it's just a long, like, I would rather read an actual book without pictures.
I don't think the format was the best choice for this book.
I think not either.
Because while the color palette and stuff is great, the pictures don't tell a story. It's a lot of trees in the woods and there's snow. Look, a camp. Look, there's smoke in the chimneys.
Yeah.
At one point he goes, okay, well, there's 6 of them with active chimneys. And I'm going, I don't care.
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, right? Like, the graphic novel that I read most recently was Ducks. And
which contained no ducks.
No, there's really nothing about ducks in that book. I'm not quite sure where the title came from. I probably missed something there too. That's the thing. I feel like I'm missing half the story with graphic novels. But there were times when, like, so this Ducks takes place in the oil sands of Alberta, and it's a female who goes to work there to earn money, whatever. But there's a part where she's assaulted, and then there's just a black page. I get that.
Yeah.
That makes sense to me because obviously that's a very dark time, right? It makes sense to have a black page in there.
Yeah, it kind of conveys the emotion of the situation.
Yeah, but some of these pictures are just pictures of like the camp and the scenery and like
the forest and the pond.
Like what does that add to the story?
Nothing.
It shows me the setting.
Pretty.
Okay, so I see where you've landed up, but I don't care.
Like, if they're trying to emphasize the fact that he's in the wilderness, yeah, we got that.
Mission accomplished.
If you're trying to emphasize the fact that the Grisha encampment is outside of the town and whatnot, yeah, we got that. Mm-hmm. Yep, that's 2 pages.
Yeah, I know.
What are you doing with the other 100?
But, like, so what is it about this kid? Tell me more about... Well, it's supposed to be his origin story, right?
Yeah, until you read the synopsis, I didn't know he was the villain.
Because he seems like the good guy, right?
Because he seems like the good guy.
Because he helps the girls out.
Bullying the girls seem like the bad guy.
Exactly. But no.
And granted, I should probably learn to read the...
Sometimes it's better if you just don't.
Like, I just go, okay, well, let's see what it is.
Let's dive into this. And then you're like, why did we choose this one again? But no.
The entire podcast is you explaining what the heck we're doing.
Today's book is about this. Oh, really?
Today, Janine explains to Jess the most basic parts of books. Sorry, didn't mean to accidentally make you choke.
It's all good. Yeah, I don't, like, I feel like I
hope there's a lot more action in the second half, because honestly, so far, A, it's taken me 20 minutes to read this book, and B, I still don't know what it is.
No, it's not doing a very good job of telling the story, in my opinion.
No. The one line I did like is when Lena, like his mother, I was talking about the elders, and the elders, old men stroking their beards and congratulating themselves on their wisdom, where I'm like, yep, that fits.
That tracks.
That explains pretty much every politician ever.
I'm going to refrain from commenting because I'm going to say something
for everybody.
That'll get me in trouble. Anyway, so I don't know. Are they planning to release this whole series as graphic novels? And is that why they started this? Because it seems to me like lately a lot of series, well, especially in junior fiction, I've noticed a lot of the series are being re-released as graphic novels.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there's Babysitter's Club, for example.
Babysitter's Club, there's like some kind of cupcake thing, Sweet Valley Twins, like...
They're releasing that?
We have one.
Oh, my word.
Yeah, and like the I Survived books, like there's lots of them that are coming out as graphic novels, so...
Weirdly enough, Geronimo Stilton.
Yeah. I know.
Which was practically a graphic novel already.
Exactly. So, like, obviously, and our graphic novels, they circulate like crazy. Anytime a kid comes in looking for, like, Dogman, never a single one on the shelf.
You check the cart because there's no point in checking the shelf.
And even then, like, if you can find a Dogman book on the shelf, it's your lucky day. But, so I don't know, like, is that what's happening? But why do books have to be released as graphic novels all the time? Why can't we just read a book without pictures? Sorry.
Don't hold back now. Tell us what you really feel.
I have graphic novel opinions, apparently.
I don't mind graphic novels, but I don't think this graphic novel's done well.
This one is not great.
It is a piece of art.
Yeah.
But it is not telling a story.
And...
like, there were 4 shots of the white stag at the beginning. That thing better mean something by the end of it.
It does mean something. I cannot remember what it means, but there is something there.
But so see, that's the thing.
Maybe it would have helped if you had read.
I feel like the only way to enjoy this book so far is by reading the rest of the series.
But I have read some of the series. I'm not enjoying this book.
You don't enjoy graphic novels, though. We've established that.
Well, okay. But having said that, some of the graphic novels I've read are better than others.
Lucky Luke.
I've not read Lucky Luke. I mean, I didn't love Ducks, but as far as graphic novels go, it was okay. Mm-hmm. Like, it told a story.
Yeah. That's the thing. Like, pretty much this entire story is told via speech bubbles.
Yeah.
Oftentimes, there'll also be scene captions, for lack of a better term, that explain, do the whole once upon a time thing, or in a village far, far away, or the stag represents blah, blah, blah. Where it explains a bit more without the characters actually having to say it. This book needs that, because there's pretty much none of it.
And even the dialogue is very limited. Mm-hmm. So,
Like, you could count this guy's lines on one hand.
Yeah.
I don't know. I really hope that the beginning is all kind of just set up and stuff starts happening in the second half, because I'm bored.
Fortunately, you've only got 20 minutes of reading left.
True.
So
shouldn't take long.
If the second half turns out to be as bad as the first, at least you're not putting in a lot of time.
Yeah. It's, I don't know.
Yeah.
I honestly just think that you need to read the rest of it, and then it makes a lot more sense, because you know what the black goop is, you know if the white deer means something.
I think it's smoke.
You know that he's the villain.
Isn't it smoke, not goop?
I think it's smoke or shadows or something like that, but that's mainly shadows, just me inferring from shadows.
Shadows make sense. I feel like I need to go back and read Shadow and Bone again, though, and then proceed to read the rest of the series all in a row so that I know what the heck is going on.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, so far, Jess and Janine do not recommend.
Not unless you're prepared to read, what? How many other books are there in the Grishaverse?
There's 3 more in this series, plus 2 more 2-book series. Duologies.
If you're not prepared to read another 7 books to help you understand this one, don't read it. It's like, don't watch The Room, because you really need to read the 400-page book explaining the movie The Room before you watch The Room.
Really?
Yeah.
Interesting. That being said, I did really enjoy Shadow and Bone and also Six of Crows.
Yeah, I think it's just the case that the format's not right for this one.
It's not. Or it's not done well.
No.
It's not, there's not enough story there.
Not the right way to go about it.
Yeah, no.
So. But we'll see. Let's hope the second half is better. Because if not, I despair for humanity.
And we are back with part 2 of Demon in the Wood. So, Jess, I know you just barely finished reading it. Mm-hmm. I know you have thoughts. I have a few thoughts, not too many, because there wasn't much there, but let's hear it. Let it out.
I don't like it. I really don't like it. I tried. I can't. Artistically, it's great. They have a good color palette. The graphics are great. The story is, well, put it this way. I finished the first half of the book in about 20 minutes, and I finished the second half of the book in 10.
Yeah.
This book is 202 pages long.
Yep.
There's nothing there. There's no story. There's no plot. It honestly feels like the only reason to read this book is if you've read the rest of the series and you want a little bit, emphasis on a little bit, more explanation on one of the characters' backstories.
Yeah.
But even that, it gives you nothing.
So when I was doing some prep work for this, I did find that this apparently came out as a novella before it was a graphic novel. I thought that it was just a graphic novel. So I wonder if that would have more content.
I would certainly hope so, because this has nothing.
Yeah.
And I don't know if I forgot it from the first half or if it was just introduced in the second half. But the fact that there's a bunch of people in this book that just want this guy's bones.
Yeah.
Because and there's no explanation as to why they want the bones. I know he's an amplifier.
Yeah, that's why.
But what does that mean?
If they have his bones, then that amplifies their powers.
Yeah, but she also just held his hand, and that amplified the powers.
Right, but she can't hold his hand all the time.
No, but for the big jobs, I'm sure he'd swing by.
But you don't know when you're going to need to do a big job.
I just have logistical questions, really. Do you need all the bones? Some of the bones? Specific bones? If I chop off my pinky finger, would that do? And would you leave me alone then? Because I've got 9 other ones. I'm fine for a while, and we haven't even gotten started on toes yet.
So, well, those are all great questions. I don't think that was really the point. This is supposed to be his origin story.
Yeah.
So I think the point ultimately was the ending, where he decides he wants to set up a community for Grisha where they can live safely and freely. And that's all because of what happened leading up to that. So
yeah, but there's not much that happened.
No, I know that there's not much. I'm not saying that I liked the book, because I definitely did not. But I'm just saying, as an origin story, did it do its job? Sort of.
It's more about the setup than the actual story itself.
Yeah.
But even that, there really isn't much.
No.
If you were looking for explanations as to why the villain is the villain, this is not going to give you much.
Well,
and I don't know if that's the format. I don't know if the novella would be better.
Yeah.
Now knowing that there's a novella, I want to actually go read that
Yeah.
To compare and see if that has more information than the graphic novel. Because the graphic novel, there's a lot of pages with it. Like, there's no text.
Yep.
And it's not even that it's like, oh, things are happening, he's running through the woods, there's being chased by a bear or whatever. No, it's like, he stares. Another guy stares. Another guy stares. It's like, we get it. You're staring. Move on.
I know. It's true. And that's, like, I think that's why I don't like to read graphic novels, is because there's just not enough there for me.
I don't mind some graphic novels.
Yeah.
Because some do a really good job of it. And they tell the story, and being a graphic novel, it adds to the story rather than detracts from it. This definitely is not the best format for this story.
No.
Like,
there's just not enough there.
No, not in the slightest.
No, and that's what I feel like often in graphic novels. Like, I don't want to have to make up the story in my head. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. Like, when I read a regular book or listen to an audiobook or whatever, you kind of start to form the story in your head, and you get your pictures and you know what the character looks like, which is why you're so mad when the movie comes out and they didn't match what was in your head.
Yep.
And I can generally do that with graphic novels. This one I can't.
No.
Like, it just felt flat.
Yep, it did. There just was, like, literally nothing there.
It's, I don't know. And frankly, there's none of the characters that I liked.
No.
Like,
well, the characters weren't really developed that much either.
No.
So, like, it's hard to like them when you don't really know them. I don't know.
And, like, the mother, who I sort of liked at the beginning because she seemed fun, by the end, I just wanted to smack her. Okay, so, what's-his-face, Eric, injures himself to make it look like they were attacked rather than him killing a couple people. And the villagers, or the Grisha's response to this was to burn the entire village. And his mother said, I would burn 1,000 villages, sacrifice 1,000 lives to keep you safe. You're a psychopath.
Well,
like,
maybe when you're a mother, you'll feel that way too.
Okay, you're a mother. Would you burn 1,000 villages?
No, that's just not in my nature.
I cannot justify harming other children, because there's children in there, to save my child, especially from the consequences of his own actions.
Yeah.
Like, and she knows what he did.
Yep.
Like, that and the little kid sister thing was bugging me.
She was a bit of a pest, that little sister.
Well, she goes with the villagers when they kill the bear. Wants to stay for the party. Eric and What's-Her-Face show up to rescue her. And she's basically going, no, I want to stay because there's a party and I'm never going to go to a party. Or it's like, you kidding me? Like, and then she throws a temper tantrum on the way home, and then she has to be saved by Eric and What's-Her-Face, because I don't remember her name.
Yeah.
Which leads to Eric being outed as an amplifier, and then What's-Her-Face wants to kill him. Or just take some of his bones, which we still haven't established if just the pinky will do. Like...
Yes.
I don't know. I might enjoy it more if I actually read the rest of it, because right now, I just have logistical questions.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, I read the first book in the Shadow and Bone trilogy, which this is the prequel to. It doesn't. Like, maybe you have to read the whole series in order for this to make sense. I don't know.
But I think you have to be pretty invested in the villain's backstory in order to go this far to actually read this book. No offense.
Yeah.
Like...
So, yeah, like...
I was hoping for more.
I guess establishing the Grisha community that he creates. If that was the ultimate goal, then yeah, sort of the book did that. But there's still not enough there for me.
But his reasoning behind it wasn't even fantastic either.
No.
Like, I get that you want to have a place where the Grisha are safe. Sure, fantastic, makes sense. By the sounds of it, he approached it in a very villainy way.
Well, he is a villain.
He's a villain, yes, I know. But, like, his response... Like, they show up at this camp. By all means, by the sounds of it, the camp is fairly welcoming. Meet some people. Some of them are not so welcoming. There's some in every crowd. He goes on this little adventure. The bear is dead, blah, blah, blah. They try to kill him. He pretends that he was injured as well, and that the villagers, like the human camp or whatever, attacked him. The Grisha then burned down the human camp, and he goes, oh no, I'm going to create a city or country or whatever where everybody can be themselves. great. But you're not wronged in that. Like, yeah, it sucks that you don't have a place of your own. But this book does not give a proper catalyst as to why he turned to the dark side, as it were.
Yeah. Well,
like, it's very...
There is no safe place. There is no haven. Not for us. No safe place. No haven. But there will be.
Da, 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 da.
I will make one. Yeah, it is very cheesy at the end. I will do it.
Like, it's not as though the humans attacked the Grisha village, from what I can understand.
No.
The Grisha attacked the human village.
Yeah.
The Grisha are not the ones wronged.
Yeah.
Like...
No, I know.
This comes off as a very teenage response to, no, nobody likes me.
Well, it is a young adult book.
Yes, I know, but it doesn't have to come off quite that teenage. Like, there's plenty of YA books that are a little less, well, you can hear the door to his room slamming. Put it that way.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's true.
We've read plenty of YA books.
It's like a hissy fit, right? Like,
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a very juvenile response.
Mm-hmm.
So, I don't know. It's not my cup of tea.
No, this one was not for me either. I mean, if you are a graphic novel lover, you might like this one. If you are obsessed with the Grishaverse.
If you're a graphic novel lover, you have to read the rest of the books in order to get anything out of this book.
Yeah,
like that's,
maybe.
But they don't explain anything in this book.
If you are into all things Grisha...
then you'll probably like it.
You'll probably like it, because that was the sense I was getting off of some of the reviews I read. So...
Do you have any fun facts for us?
Today, I don't know if I will call these fun facts, because I wasn't sure which direction to go with fun facts, but when I was updating my Goodreads, I was looking at this book and saw that it had 4.18 stars, which kind of shocked me. Mm-hmm. So I did read some of the reviews, and I recorded some of them. But I recorded the snarky ones that I'm going to share with you, not the ones that were like, oh, I love this is so great, oh, I'm so excited about this, blah, blah, blah. Like,
nobody
there
wants
was
to hear about that.
A lot of gushing reviews for this book, which kind of surprised me, because I was like, no.
But I feel like if you're going to go through the trouble of reading it, you do like the Grishaverse already.
Well... I mean, I've read books from the Grishaverse, which I like. I don't like this, so...
Yeah, but you're not a hardcore fan.
I guess that's true.
Do you leave reviews for any other books?
I never leave reviews.
Exactly.
That's just not my thing.
Nope.
So anyways, the first one said, as a villain origin story, this is brief and kind of lame.
There we go.
Which basically sums it up.
And that's what it took me 10 minutes to say.
Yeah, exactly. And then this one, which I also thought was hilarious. Girl, this was not necessary. Rent was due again, I see. So, there you have it. That was sort of like the negative reviews. That was sort of the gist of like, this was, yeah.
The whole thing is very unnecessary. It explains nothing.
Yeah.
Like, I'm pretty sure the whole point of this book is that they want a place for the Grisha.
Mm-hmm.
Fairly certain his motives were covered in one of the other books at some point. Maybe. Like, and this doesn't add anything. If anything, it detracts from it, because now I just hear, whiny teenage boys slamming different doors.
Well, in Shadow and Bone, his character is very mysterious. Like, you don't...
Sometimes it's better to keep the mystery.
I feel like there's going to be more revealed in the next couple of books, which I haven't read yet. But you don't really get a lot... There's a lot of unanswered questions about his character, in my opinion, from what I remember, because I read it a while ago. There's been a lot of books between then and now.
Yeah, there's sometimes where it's just like, if there's a dark, mysterious character, leave them alone. Yeah. Stop trying to reveal too much of their backstory, because all you're doing is ruining it.
Yeah. So, 10 out of 10 would not recommend.
No.
Sorry, guys. If anybody was excited about this, somebody's read it, because it was checked out when I tried to check it out. So, somebody else in the library has read it. Let us know if that was you, what you thought.
If it was you, tell us, and if you actually liked it, and if so, why did you like it? Because I'm really struggling to find a positive. I mean, it's a beautifully illustrated book. But there's beautifully illustrated books that are better.
Yeah.
And it's a book. There has to be some kind of story. Otherwise, it's just a series of paintings.
Mm-hmm. Which is kind of what this is.
A little bit, yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't really have much more to say. I don't know about you.
I mean, I am somewhat interested in the Grishaverse. Six of Crows has been on my to-read list since it came out. and I just haven't gotten to it.
No, Six of Crows is good. I would recommend.
I am more curious about how many bones exactly you need to amplify and if the location or size is relevant. So, frankly, that's probably going to be enough to get me to actually read the rest of the series.
You're just really stuck on the bones.
I'm sorry. It's the technical aspects of it.
Well, that's why they were going after the bear, right? Because apparently the bear was an amplifier.
Which also, can anything be an amplifier? If a mouse could be an amplifier?
I don't know.
See, I have questions.
Yeah.
So, I have enough questions. I will end up reading the rest of the series and the rest of the books in the Grishaverse at some point. That being said, beyond my logistical questions, the writing of this book was not enough to interest me in the character. I'm not invested in their livelihoods at all. Not even close.
No, it's not for me.
No. So, I mean, go ahead.
I was going to say, I'm going to take a pause from graphic novels for a while now, I think.
So you've read
I've read 4.
Yeah.
In the last probably 8 months, which is a lot considering I never read graphic novels. Not true. When I was a kid, I was obsessed with Archie comics. But
Archie comics are better than this.
Yeah. I don't know if you'd call those graphic novels or not, but yeah. But since then, I haven't really read graphic novels.
Well, this wasn't the best reintroduction to it.
No, but the other ones I've read weren't that spectacular either. Although Ducks...
Maybe it's just not your format.
It's not my format. That I know. I need more substance than, what is in a graphic novel.
I find graphic novel... it's quite common to do graphic novel adaptations of various popular works now. And while I think it is a good way to introduce... especially some of the classics and stuff, to a younger generation where that might be their first introduction to, say, Oliver Twist or whatever. I don't think that it is necessarily the best format.
Yeah.
For a lot of books.
Well, I know that graphic novels get kind of a bad rap because it's not considered literature or whatever.
It is.
And I think, for me, if a kid is reading... doesn't matter what they're reading because they're reading, right?
Well, that's the thing. If the only version of Oliver Twist somebody ever reads is a graphic novel, great.
Yep.
You still know the story, you still know the characters. So what if it's in a different format?
Yeah.
It's like only watching Pride and Prejudice rather than reading it. Well, condolences because you still watch Pride and Prejudice, but...
How dare you?
We'll have to do Pride, Prejudice, and Zombies because that I enjoyed.
But I think also we should do Pride and Prejudice. Yes. It's so good.
I don't like it.
Have you read it, though?
I got about 2 chapters in.
See...
I've seen the movie.
You have to read it. Which movie did you watch? The Keira Knightley one?
I don't think so.
Did you watch the, 5-hour BBC one?
Maybe.
Oh, it was Colin Firth?
I think so.
And you didn't like it? How could you not?
It's not my cup of tea.
So many things wrong with this,
No one was
Jess.
murdered.
No, it's
It's
not that
literally
kind of...
just the world's longest love story, and I'm bored. It's not my cup of tea.
I have no words.
Well, you're going to do great on a podcast. That being said, there is various adaptations of Pride and Prejudice as graphic novels and that kind of thing. I think that's a great way to introduce the book to either a younger generation or someone that just prefers the graphic novel format. That being said, not everything can be adapted to graphic novels, and I just do not think that this one had enough story to be a graphic novel.
Well, if it was originally a novella to begin with, a novella is usually
short.
Yeah. So there probably wasn't that much there to begin with, right?
Yeah.
So,
which is why I think it shouldn't have been a graphic novel.
Yeah.
It's just not the right format for that book. So,
yep.
But yeah.
So that's what we thought of the book.
But those are just our opinions, of course. We'd like to hear yours, so leave us a comment.
Thanks for joining us for Between the Lines.
And thanks for editor Linda.
And we'll see you next time. Bye.
Bye.